Hello and welcome everyone to this presentation where we will be exploring 5 key accessibility features that can be found on the iPhone and the way in which that these accessibility features can assist our students in the special education setting. And this is really remarkable because iPhones and iOS devices in particular have really revolutionized the way in which students can learn and study and fully participate alongside their peers in the general education setting and sometimes even in resource rooms as well. So without further ado, we'll get started. Just a couple of notes here before we do. For the life of me, I could not figure out how to record my voice while also demonstrating the screen of the iPhone for the accessibility features. So what you'll find is a video like this one, where I'll describe what the accessibility feature is, how it relates to students with disabilities and its functions, and I'll give you a brief explanation or roadmap of what you'll see on the next video when I go ahead and show you the video presentation of the screen itself. So you can get a look at how the app, or not the app, I'm sorry, how the feature actually works. But since I won't be able to speak during the demonstration of the screen, you'll have a preview ahead of time so you'll know what's going on. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's assume you have a student in the classroom who is blind and is unable to read print. Well, the iPhone is actually a tremendous resource for their toolkit. And you might be asking yourself, well, how can this be? How can someone who is blind possibly use a phone that doesn't even have any buttons on it? It's literally just a screen. Well, the iPhone actually has a brilliant way to allow people with visual impairments to navigate and use the iPhone without even having to look at it. This accessibility feature is known as VoiceOver. And what VoiceOver does is it allows the user to navigate the phone and have the phone speak everything that is touched, everything that is typed, and the way in which the user navigates the phone. So for instance, the user or the student would be able to navigate the iPhone to access educational tools or apps that other students might be using in the classroom. And most importantly, especially when students get into a lot of the higher levels of learning and like high school and especially in college and universities, when there's tremendous loads of reading, the user or student would use VoiceOver to assist in reading massive amounts of books. So the student could use VoiceOver to then have the phone essentially read the textbook that has been converted into an alternative format like a readable PDF or even like Kindle that works nowadays, so that the student can have the phone read it out loud. And what's even better is that the student could train their ear to have the VoiceOver speed be even faster, which allows them to retain information at a much quicker rate and get through the pages even faster than having them read them themselves with their eyes, which they are unable to do so. So this is a wonderful, wonderful accessibility feature. I think it's one of the greatest, to be honest, and that is VoiceOver.
VoiceOver on. Settings. Accessibility. Speaking rate. 90%. Adjustable. 80%. 70%. 60%. 50%. Speech. Button. Speaking rate. 50%. 70%. Home. Messages. 2 unread messages. Page 2 of 6. Utilities folder. Page 3 of 6. Be My Eyes. Page 4 of 6. Google Maps. Page 3 of 6. Uber Eats. Page 2 of 6. Home. Page 1 of Notes. Reminders. Clock. 4. Stocks. iTunes Store. Notes. Double tap to open. Use. Toolbar. New note. New note. Dim. Note. Text field. Is editing. Insertion point at start. Cap T. E. S. T. Space. Test. Cap N. O. T. E. Space. Note. New line. New line. Cap T. H. I. Space. This. I. S. Space. Is. A. Space. T. E. F. T. Space. Test. N. O. T. Space. Note. K. R. 4. A. R. The. P. O. E. R. N. T. Space. Space. Period. T. N. I. O. Cap P. R. R. P. O. I. N. T. Space. K. I. R. This. I. S. P. R. E. T. Y. Is pretty. C. O. O. L. Space. Cool. N. O. Question mark. Space. Question mark. Exclamation mark. No. Exclamation. Question mark. Space. Test note. Format. Button. Checklist. Off. Table. Button. Note. This is a test note for the PowerPoint. This is pretty cool, no? Done. Button. Done. All iCloud. Back button. Home. Notes. FaceTime. Page 2 of 6. Kindle. Double tap to open. Use 3D touch to show home screen actions. Foundations of Orientation and Mobility. History and Theory. Wiener. William R. Chapter 8 Adaptive Technology. Chapter 8 Adaptive Technology for Orientation and Mobility. Link Daniel L. Smith and William M. Penrod Learning Questions. Bullet What are 3 key functions of a mobility device? Bullet Why have many travel canes been coated with materials other than white paint? Bullet What considerations should a traveler take into account when choosing between collapsible/folding or one-piece rigid travel canes? Bullet What 3 general components must go hand in hand to make an effective travel schema? Bullet What factors have prevented high percentage utilization of electronic travel aids (ETAs) by travelers with visual impairments? Bullet What essential sort lines, words, characters, containers, speaking rate, 80%, 85%, 90%. Chapter 8 Adaptive Technology for Orientation and Mobility. Link Daniel L. Smith and William M. Penrod Learning Questions. Bullet What are 3 key functions of a mobility device? Bullet Why have many travel canes been coated with materials other than white paint? Bullet What considerations should a traveler take into account when choosing between collapsible/folding or one-piece rigid travel canes? Bullet What 3 general components must go hand in hand to make an effective travel schema? Bullet What factors have prevented high percentage utilization of electronic travel aids (ETAs) by travelers with visual impairments? Bullet What essential sources of information should the entrepreneur consult with to increase the probability of success in the development of mobility devices? Bullet Which potential population groups are said to benefit from adaptive mobility devices? AMDs, persons who are visually impaired have used many methods and devices to assist in mobility. Over time, animals, sighted people, and devices such as sticks or canes have been used to achieve varying levels of safety and efficiency in independent travel. Today, there are basically 4 types of mobility systems or tools for getting about. The first is the human guide. The other 3 most accepted and proven types of mobility systems or tools include canes, dog guides, and electronic travel aids (ETAs). Please note that ETAs may supplement the function of the other 3 mobility systems, while adaptive mobility devices or AMDs, discussed later in this chapter, replace the function of the cane. A major role of these mobility systems is to provide obstacle detection and avoidance and to preview the path of travel. Secondary roles are to assist in landmark determination and general orientation. Adaptive technology is the preferred term that has been used in orientation and mobility (OM) to refer to those assistive mobility devices adapted for use by persons with visual impairments. Farmer and Smith, 1997. Link. This adaptive technology is the preferred term that has chapter 8 adaptive technology. Bullet What factors have prevented high percent. Close book. Button. Doc. Safari. Double tap to open. Use 3D touch. Recipes. Link. Lines. Speaking. Containers. Toolbar. Speaking. Lines. Speaking rate. 80%. 75%. 70%. Love and lemons. Link. Menu. Navigation. Navigation. Heading level 3. Navigation. Landmark. Home. Link. Serve this air fryer broccoli as a side dish, or add it to your next grain bowl. It has perfect crispy edges and a savory garlic flavor. You're going to love it. Line. Word. Characters. Edit. Form controls. Links. Headings. Links. Headings. Air fryer broccoli recipe ingredients. Heading level. To make this recipe, you will need these simple ingredients. 0 seconds of 0 seconds. Serving suggestions. The simplest way to serve this. Loading ad. Containers. Toolbar. Back. Button. The simplest headings. Links. Gochujang sauce. Link. Peanut sauce. Link. Sesame ginger dressing. Link. Crispy sesame tofu. Link. Cilantro lime rice. Link. Notes. Settings. Active. Speaking rate. 80, 90%. 100%. 90%. Voiceover. Switch button. Voiceover off.
Now, not all students who have a visual impairment are functionally blind. In fact, statistically, 90% of students with legal blindness actually do have residual vision that they can use. And so the iPhone has another accessibility feature that allows these students to use their remaining vision to accomplish tasks. This feature is known as Zoom, and just as it sounds, it allows the student to zoom in or out using either the full screen of the phone, a line of the phone, a window, so that they can zoom in and read text, look at images, or identify more clearly items on the phone. And this is great because some students actually do like to read their textbooks with their eyes, or perhaps might use them in conjunction with voiceover, which we discussed a little bit earlier. The student might listen to the text with voiceover, but then come across a diagram, a graph, or an image, perhaps in a history book. And in this way, they can pause the book and zoom into the photo, zoom into the graph, zoom into the diagram, and get an idea of what it is that they are being described. And keep in mind, sometimes audio description doesn't necessarily always work for graphs or pictures. And this is a way for the student to get a better look at what is in the text. Zoom can also be used as their primary function to navigate the phone, navigate various educational apps. And so this is another great feature for students with visual impairments. We've discussed VoiceOver and we've discussed Zoom. And while these features are both fantastic, they keep the phone brightness and color scheme in its original format. For some students, however, there may be a need to actually adjust these settings to make it easier to read or see the phone. Some students might have extreme sensitivity to light or need better contrast levels to differentiate between grays and whites. In the accessibility feature known as display in text, we can actually adjust the text to have bolder text so the letters are darker. We can also adjust the size of the text so that various applications will automatically have larger text as opposed to the standard teeny tiny, probably 12-point font text. In addition, we can also use what is known as classic invert. Classic invert will actually change the phone display to have inverted colors. Blacks become whites, whites become blacks, and etc., etc. I don't know exactly all the colors and how they change, but you'll see when I show you on the screen, you'll see the way in which classic invert changes all of the colors. And this is great, especially for reading for a long extended period of time. The white lettering on the black background might be easier on the eyes than the white on the with white background and black letters. Some students might have, like I said, photophobia, and so the might be too much glare for them. With Smart Invert that you'll see, what the phone does is it does the same positive to negative color scheme while retaining colors for images, which is beneficial because some students will benefit from having the inverted colors, but still would appreciate looking at pictures within their own respective colors as we would see them with the human eye. So that's another wonderful, wonderful feature of the iPhone that can assist students who need different tints or colors to navigate and read their text or use applications. All right, so far we've talked about accessibility features that allow a student to use various apps text that are on the actual phone itself. This next one is actually an accessibility feature that is already built into the phones that run iOS 16 or later, and it's called Magnifier. And unlike Zoom, Magnifier actually allows a student to use their phone as if it were a video magnifier. And if you're unfamiliar, a video magnifier is a magnifier that's electronic and allows students to zoom in or out things that are exterior of the phone by using the phone's camera. So, for example, the student could use it to see course material or the book in front of them, or for distance viewing to look at the board in front of the classroom. And what's neat about the video magnification capabilities, as opposed to just a standard old-fashioned glass magnifier, is that you can use it to increase and decrease the level of magnification as you wish. And you can also use it to change the color contrast, which we discussed earlier. So for some students, they might use a red tint or a yellow tint or a plum tint, or maybe the inverted colors to have the white text pop against the black background. You can do all of this with the video magnifier capabilities. And you can also use the flash, to have greater light, increase and decrease the, I don't know what it's called, like the brightness level on the screen. And all of these features are available in video magnifiers, which can be very expensive. But these features that I just discussed are available on the free pre-installed magnifier accessibility feature that I will show you in just a little bit, which is quite remarkable. And the last accessibility feature I'd like to discuss is known as spoken content. Spoken context allows the user to highlight and have the phone read aloud what is highlighted. And unlike VoiceOver, which actually reads aloud everything that's on the screen that is even touched, spoken content allows the student to physically touch certain text on the phone, have it read it, and have the words be followed along with the user's preference. So for example, yellow highlighting, as the word is spoken, the yellow highlight moves along, or to read aloud an entire page, or things like that. This is great because not all students need everything that VoiceOver has to offer. Some of you might be familiar with Kurzweil 3000, which is very similar for the computer, the PC computer. Students with dyslexia, learning disabilities might benefit from this feature as it helps them to read along or have kind of prompted navigation as they read along with their eyes, because they can in turn see the actual font. They just need some help with following along or with pronunciation of certain words. And so being able to highlight and subsequently have the phone read aloud what is highlighted is very beneficial for these students as they read through materials.
Chapter 6 The School is an organization. A visit to New Trier High School in a wealthy area of Chicago reveals the world of academic possibilities open to children. The physical setting is like a beautiful college campus with well-equipped labs for science, an Olympics high school, and facilities having the latest technology. Students have choices of many advanced high school courses, and teachers' class sizes average 15-20 students. Most students are white and from wealthy neighborhoods. 93% of students go to four-year colleges, many to the best Ivy League schools. Contrast this with PS 79, an elementary school in New York City. In this badly overcrowded school, classrooms hold over 30 students per class. The need for more space is apparent, as even the library and gymnasiums are used as classrooms. There is no room for a computer lab or science room. The building is in desperate need of repair. Causal, 1991. Contrast the basics of these two schools. Even the organizational structures differ because of the size and funding available. Organizational characteristics influence the school's effectiveness. The formal organization of schools has evolved. The social system of the school. Behind the hustle and bustle of the school hallway lies a formal system with specific purposes in which everyone learns. Organizational characteristics influence. Chapter 6 The school is an Chapter 6 The school is an organization. A visit to New Trier High School in a wealthy area of Chicago reveals the world of academic possibilities open to children. Hold over 30 students per. No speakable content could be found on the screen. Transfer to the air fryer and cook at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 to 10 minutes, or until the broccoli is tender and crisp around the edges. I like to flip my florets halfway through the cook time so that they brown evenly on all sides. That's it. Navigation, home, about us, recipes, my saved recipes, cookbook, newsletter, contact, search, social, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, X, green bean salad, indefinite time, elapsed time, 0 seconds, advertisement, 6 seconds, elapsed time, 0 seconds, 0 seconds of 0 seconds, search for 1. Cooking broccoli in air fryer, 2. Crispy air fryer broccoli recipe. 3. Best air fryers for seniors over 60. Sponsored Grub Cafe. Experience elevated all-electric performance with Chevy Equinox EV. Experience elevated all-electric performance with Chevy Equinox EV. Equinox EV balances effortless technology, distinctive design, performance and affordability that puts electric. By Chevrolet. Advertisement. Learn more and hope they get spat out at the other. Warehousing students is another way to describe student experiences. With oils, control their behavior with a little connection to any single layer in the air fryer. Teachers input. Transfer to the air fryer. Will see 150 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 to 10 minutes.
In conclusion, I hope you have found this presentation valuable and see the amazing things that technology can do for students with disabilities to bring equity into the classroom and allow them to reach their highest potential. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.